Well, Jass, obviously being back with the club now, had the pre-season campaign out the way, and you have been appointed captain head of the new season. I'm sure you'd be over the moon to have that role.
Yeah, absolutely delighted. Proud to be made captain, to be fair, of the club. Like I said, I'm so glad to be back. See familiar faces, new faces, then that's another role which I spoke to Nath about before I was coming in. And as I was coming in, and I feel like we both agreed that it was something that we felt was right. And as I said, I'm honoured to take up the role to be captain.
Yeah, and obviously in your first spell, you kind of came as it was your first sort of real taste of senior football, if you like, and then you developed from there. Perhaps those couple of years at Darlington, which I know you covered when you re-signed for the side, but do you feel that you've come back sort of more of a leader perhaps in sheer spell at Darlington?
Yeah, definitely. Like you just said, my first time I came to Whitby, I think I just turned 21. I was turning 21, so it seems a long time ago now, and I was learning the game, learning the non-league, and obviously I did have 2 years away at Darlington, and I've came back now and I'm at an age where I feel like it's always been a part of my game, talking, communicating, and just sort of being a leader. But I feel now I'm definitely at the age of 28 where I have got experience to go with that, and the main aim is the season obviously to be successful as a group, as a team, on the pitch, off the pitch. But also we've got a lot of young ones, so that's where it's a responsibility, like me, Blandy, Nath, Thomas, Priestley, a lot of the older ones. There's not just one captain, we've all got captains out there, just to help a lot of the young ones through, because as you said, they're now with what I was 6-7 years ago, so I know what situation they're in, and that's our job to make the transition for them as smooth as possible.
Yeah, and in terms of your position as well, throughout pre-season we've sort of seen you chopping and changing between centre-half and left-back. But in terms of the experience element, if you are to be a centre-half, I don't think you'll find much more experience in yourself than Gary Liddell there.
Yeah, like I said, Lids, he's Rolls-Royce Lids, hundreds of games. You can see his reading of the game's fantastic, and he's another one, just to have that experience in the changing room's massive, because he's played games in the Football League, all type of levels, and he's played hundreds of games, like I said, so it's just a real good addition. Like, yeah, I feel I'm experienced, but Lids is a whole different level, and he can see it from a different perspective, so it's really good.
Yeah, and in terms of the ambition for the season, obviously, as you probably know, we did have a campaign to remember last year. The league it petered out in terms of the cup run. I'm sure that's one of those you're hoping to try and replicate this season, albeit with quite a small squad, as we found out.
Yeah. So to be honest, we've got a few missing today, a couple of absences, and so it's a bit tough, and obviously the conditions were tough, but like I said, this season we are wanting to push. We've got a really good group. It's just important. I know at this level it's hard having big squads. You see a lot of teams in the North East now, especially the North East, the squads aren't massive because it's tough at part-time to do that. So we know if we keep our 11, 12, 13, we've got a real tight-knit group, and what we want to do, we are going to aim for playoffs. That is the aim. We've got ambitions. We don't just come here, we don't just train week in, week out, all the hard work, all the travelling just to be mediocre, just to be mid-table. That's not what this group's about, and I know that, we know that. So as a whole, as I said, it's so important that enjoy the good times, but there's going to be tough times in the season, so it's vitally important that the older ones, me, the few I've named, do get together and help the young ones through that.
Yeah, and in terms of the start of the season as well, it's always going to be relentless, but that's, I suppose, the pre-season schedule's planned with that in mind. But obviously starting at home, that's going to be a nice way to start, and hopefully get those 3 points and really kick it off.
Yeah, no better feeling of first game at home. It's always better, nice crowd, and just it's a nice buzz. It's a real good buzz. We've had a good pre-season, lots of games. We've had a lot of games, Saturdays, games, Tuesdays, just to get used to it, because we know the beginning of the season's relentless, and when it gets to bank holiday weekend, you've got Saturday, Monday, so that's where it's vital. We've got to manage ourselves as well, which the lads are experienced enough to know that if we need to do a bit more, we need to do a bit more. If you need that rest, you need that rest. So as long as we're ready to go every game day, which we will be, we'll be fine.
Oh, shit.
Perfect.